Hello, my nosy neighbors. So we are back with another video. I was just seeing what was on my YouTube and I came across this. First of all, before we get started, make sure y'all go follow Will Evans. He's a great, I don't want to say YouTuber because he's so much more than a YouTuber. He's a mentor and he's involved in a lot of programs, especially in his community. I do watch him often. But I would heard something about Trump apparently saying something about getting Diddy pardoned in like a live interview or something. So we're going to see what this is about because I had kind of been hearing that around. So, yep. Make sure you follow your boy, Will Evans. Follow him. All right. Now we about to get cracking. We about to see what's going on. Okay? You already know the deal. Make sure you grab your drinks. Make sure you grab your snacks because it's time to react. I got me a little Diet Coke and a snack, some French fries and ketchup. Let's see what Will Evans is talking about today.
I'm a firm believer in leaving 50 Cent alone. 50 Cent is being reported, met with Donald Trump. And just like he said he would, he making sure that Diddy stay in jail as long as possible. Now, obviously, we're going to get into the reasons why maybe 50 might be doing this type of stuff. And we're going to talk about this and we're going to break this down. I got a few pieces of information about this situation. We got some statements from Trump himself. 50 Cent made some statements about this. Diddy is trying to get out of jail still.
Yeah.
Actually, Diddy is requesting a new trial. If you guys didn't catch that news, Diddy is in jail right now, and he sent his lawyers to request a new trial where he will only be tried on the charges that he got convicted of.
Now, I did see that maybe a few days ago. I didn't look into it or nothing, but I did see that, and I was like, wow. So he wants to go through that all over again, but just for those two things. And I definitely agree. Like, 50 Cent is not someone you want to start a beef with or even like wrongly cross paths with because he will be on your neck forever. And he won't stop.
Separately from the other charges, separately from the racketeering, separately from everything else. But 50 Cent is like, nah, bro, you staying in jail. I'm a firm believer and I don't want 50 Cent as an enemy. I think a lot of people would agree with that because he just don't stop. You know, Diddy in jail, he still won't stop. Look, if God can't get through to you, I promise you 50 Cent will. If God can't get through to you, I promise you 50 Cent will. You do not want that man as an enemy. This dude is relentless. And he reacted to Trump pretty much denying that he's going to give Diddy a pardon after he went and met with him. Now, we know the history of 50 and Diddy is kind of shaky. And I'm going to show you guys 50's reaction in a second. And then I'm going to show you what Trump said. But we know the history between 50 and Diddy is pretty shaky. And they don't really like it. It don't seem like 50 like him at all now. But Diddy ain't never really liked 50. It don't seem like. But this is a whole new level of petty. So before we jump into this, man, let's make sure that we set the rules of the live stream. We do this live stream the same way every single time. Hit that like button as you come in. Keep it respectful with each other in the chat. A subscriber-only chat. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, you're not going to be able to be in the chat. And we're going to start the live stream with a prayer like we always do, man, because I love to pray for you guys.
Let's go.
Do any entertainment news or topics. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you humbly, God, thanking you for another day. Thanking you for another opportunity to get right, God. We all flawed. We just trying to figure it out as we down here, Lord. We ask that you give us guidance, strength, mercy, protection, and grace, Lord. I ask that you bless everybody that's listening. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, man, let's jump into this. So we knew that the news earlier in this week, or really yesterday or the day before, I believe, was that Trump was going to potentially pardon Diddy. Now, Trump has been reached out to by Diddy's team for months. It was reported back in May that Diddy's close associates were reportedly trying to get a pardon from him before Diddy was even convicted. He already knew that he was going to jail, so he was trying to secure the pardon way back then. Now, even Suge Knight, the article said, theorized that Diddy would get the presidential pardon from Trump in the event that he was convicted of the crimes, which we know Diddy was convicted of 2 counts of prostitution, engagement for or whatever, soliciting prostitution. So, the report back then from Rolling Stone said that Diddy's close associates were trying to secure the presidential pardon from Trump, and this is how long it's been going on. Said the alleged move was revealed by 3 alleged sources supposedly close to the situation, and during the presidential transition, the convicted United States President Trump, during his first few months of his second term, Diddy's team allegedly started to attempt contact. This included longtime friends of Diddy's and partners of his as well, who reached out to various Trump transition and administration officials, according to this article, as well as other close individuals.
So a lot of Diddy's camp was reaching out to Trump. I won't lie. I thought it was just like talk of the town. Like he was just addressing a rumor, or comments that people were thinking and people thought. Like I didn't know people was like legit, like real, like really reaching out to Trump.
One of the sources said, quote, Diddy is willing to do anything to get out of jail. Trump has allegedly known Combs for over a decade, and this group of associates also reportedly have years-long bonds with him. They said he's always been this way. He's always going to do whatever he has to do to get out of a situation. He doesn't even like Donald Trump.
Oh, my gosh.
Elsewhere, the alleged sources claimed that this is an ongoing preliminary process. Allegedly, some Trump officials who know of this alleged attempt are hesitant to commute Diddy's serious charges if convicted. Now, he wasn't convicted of the serious charges. So people felt like, okay, well, they made a statement somewhat. The sources around Trump made a statement saying that, if the charges weren't serious, maybe it was a possibility to get a pardon. Now, we know that 50 Cent and Diddy don't have a good relationship like that, but we know as well that Trump and 50 have a great relationship. Trump offered $53 million reportedly to perform at Madison Square Garden for a rally that Trump was having. And 50 turned it down, and this was reported back then too. And we just kind of establishing the relationship between Diddy and Trump, 50 and Diddy, and now let's establish the relationship between Trump and 50, right? So it says 50 Cent turned down a $3 million offer to perform at President Donald Trump's controversial rally in Madison Square Garden, right? And during a segment of an interview, 50 was asked directly whether it was true that Trump offered him the money to endorse him. Mm-hmm. 50 said yes, then clarifies, said, quote, I got a call, but they wanted me for Sunday, which was the event. And then he was asked about a report that came out that he was asked he was trying to confirm if 50 was to perform his hit Mini Man at the RNC, the Republican National Convention, over the summer. And 50 said they offered me $3 million. So 50 was offered $3 million to perform at the RNC. Trump has a good relationship with 50. If you guys remember back in the day, Trump used to be on G Unit Radio with Tony Ayo. There's a video out there if you go check it out. Trump and Tony Ayo sitting in the studio.
Okay, so they have a good relationship, because I was trying to figure out where we were going. Is the relationship good? Is the relationship bad? Because all you showed me is that he was invited to perform and he didn't. Or did he? I don't even know at this point.
The radio station, I should say, hanging out. And then 50 always had a good relationship with Trump. He said then, the article says, 50 says, I didn't even go far. I didn't talk to him about that kind of stuff. I'm afraid of politics. He said, you understand, I don't like no part about them.
I feel him on that.
50 said it's because when you do get involved in it, no matter how you feel, someone passionately disagrees with you. That's the formula for confusion that sent Kanye to Japan. 50 said he said something about both of those things. Now he can only go to Japan, saying Kanye, right? So that kind of was 50 explaining, like, I ain't got no issue with Trump, but I don't want to get caught up in the politics because I don't want to ruin my brand. And if you guys remember, during the case, there was a tape that came out
At all.
I'm about to play it right now. Where 50 said he was the first one to have Cassie's freak offs and all that. Can you guys hear me clearly?
I remember
Make
that.
sure the audio is working and everything. I didn't check with you guys. If you could drop.
I actually remember that. It was like an audio or 50 was doing an interview or something, and like he said that, like, I don't know, he asked Diddy, like, does he really like his girlfriend, or I don't know, something like that. And Diddy was like, why, or something. He was like, or I don't know, it was something like that. And then somehow Diddy ended up sending him a freak off tape. It was mad weird, but I do remember that.
For one in the chat, if you guys hear me and see me clearly,
That was a while ago.
But anyways, if you remember during the trial for Diddy, it was a video that came out. Here it is right here. Check it out. That 50 said he was the first one to have Cassie's tapes.
Man, I don't know. I know. Check this out. On the up and up, the fuck, like, he called We Should Kick It on the telephone and after the main.
Right.
And the nigga be like, matter of fact, that they sent me the girl pictures of this girl, like, not the that y'all saw. Worse, way worse.
Wow. Oh, you kidding me?
Bruh.
Like penetration pictures and
Nah,
Oh my
come
gosh.
on, man. Come on, Fifth.
all that. And I didn't even I called the nigga. I said, yo, you with this girl? Like, you really, like, you like her like that? And he was like, yeah, that's my girl. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna send you something. You look at it, you call me back. I sent him the photos, the pictures and everything. And the nigga called back and was like, yo, thanks, man. Yo, I really appreciate that. Yo, where you get these shit from? And I said, you know, like, because they know, like, if something crazy is going on, if they send it to me, I'll make sure I get out there. Like, as far as this video.com is concerned.
Yeah, yep.
So someone else sent him
And
some
those other
50.
properties, so they sent it to me.
I knew it was something like that, though.
But, you know, I really kind of felt like those photographs was not happening because of Cassie. I felt like they was happening because of Puffy.
So I'm not going to go with what were the pictures about. They are what they are. What, like, clearly.
So we ain't got to get into Cassie doing a recap of the situation. We don't care. But 50 was said to have them tapes before everybody. He already knew about this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So all this stuff played out. We know what happened in court. We know all that stuff that happened. And, you know, the latest update on the Diddy situation was that he was getting the trying to get the pardon because I think he's panicking because the prosecutors and the judge seem to be leaning towards sending him to prison for longer than he thought he would be going to prison. A lot of people thought maybe a year, 2 years for the charges he had. And then the judge sent them back to jail, which indicated, and we've seen a lot of lawyers talk about this, that indicated that maybe the judge is going to send him away for longer than everybody thought. And Diddy's lawyer came and said, you know, he should walk out the courtroom today on the day of his conviction. And the judge was like, nah, he going back to jail.
Period.
Diddy is as far as the latest reports, Diddy has offered $50 million right now, today, or on the 1st. He offered $50 million to get out of jail. And
they don't want that $50. I mean, that $50 million. Like, he keeps trying to give him this $50 million, and the answer keeps being no. And that's wild because that's a big number.
They still are trying to, you know, deliberate and go back and
Crazy.
forth on if he's going to be able to come home. Originally, he offered $1 million after the trial to come home. The judge denied it and said, you were a danger to the society now. Back then, you're still a danger now. I'm not sending you home. I got all these people sending me letters. I'm not sending you home. Go back to jail. Wait till October 3rd, and we'll sentence you then. I think since Diddy's been sitting in jail, according to these reports, you know, he's about to get a little bit longer of a sentence than he originally thought, or that his lawyers thought, which is causing him to go back and say, you know what, give me a new trial just based on these charges, or let me out on bail. And
none of that.
The judge ain't really going for it. The article says that prosecutors said they now expect music mogul Sean Diddy Combs could face a prison sentence substantially higher than the 4 to 5 years they once thought he was likely to face after his conviction on the 2 prostitution-related charges. So the prosecutors was like, all right, give him 4 to 5 years, send him home. You know, it's 10 years per charge. But for some reason, and I know that there was a prosecutorial change. Like, so the one that the lady that was trying Diddy in court, she was fired, Maureen Comey. And what I read about and learned about yesterday was the history between Trump and her father, the prosecutor's father, wasn't good. So the prosecutor, I guess, is somebody that was going after Trump. Her dad was, I should say. And we'll talk about that in a second. But, you know, that prosecutor, Maureen Comey, she got fired after Diddy's convictions on these 2 charges and after they lost on the other charges. And so this new prosecutorial team, they're in there saying, we ain't giving him 5 years. We about to give him way more time than that. Now, he faces 20 years in prison. 10 years on each prostitution charge is the maximum. A lot of the lawyers, including O.J. Simpson's lawyer, came out and said that they feel that the judge is leaning towards giving Diddy the max. And some people will say, well, the judge has to run it concurrent. Not necessarily. That's a discretion. Like, it's at the judge's discretion. The judge can say, no, we're gonna run them consecutively. It's a federal judge. He can do whatever he want to do. It just depends on if he likes Diddy or not. And from every sign that we've gotten, this dude don't really like Diddy. You know, the judge has berated Diddy's lawyers in court saying, you said that he was violent and you had no problem saying that. So he's going back to jail. Like, this judge don't like Diddy. Almost kicked him out of court multiple times during the trial, if you guys recall. So a lot of people will say, well, he has to go by the sentencing guidelines. Again, it's at his discretion. There was a Supreme Court case back in 2005 that allowed federal judges to go off of the discretion instead of the sentencing guidelines. So all he would have to do is write a letter according to the law and say, this is the reason that I went outside of the guidelines and this is my decision, submitted, and that's over with. So this is why Diddy will want the presidential pardon, because if he in jail and his lawyers are coming to him and presenting like, look, man, this judge don't like you. We getting information from around these circles that, you know, he ain't about to let you out of prison. You about to go do some time. You're 55 years old right now. If he gives you 20 years, you'll be home when you're 75, bro. We got to either get you back into a new trial or get a presidential pardon. So this is where, you know, Diddy start going back to the pardon stuff. The article says that the prosecutor said they now expect Diddy could face a substantially higher prison sentence than 4 to 5 years that they once thought he was likely to face after his conviction. They made an observation in the court, in a court's written, they made the observation late Thursday in the Manhattan Federal Court written submission, in which they also opposed Diddy's request to be released on $50 million bail while he awaits his October 3rd sentencing. So they already are against him getting out. We know that. The article says that prosecutors said after the verdict that they thought federal sentencing guidelines meant to prevent wide disparities in sentencing for the same crimes would likely call for a prison term of 4 to 5 years. But they said that now they believe the guidelines range will be substantially higher, raising the risks that Diddy will flee. So basically, we can't let Diddy out of jail on his $50 million bail because he realizes, just like we realized, that the guidelines, when we did the guideline calculation, is substantially higher. Substantially is the key word, the operative word here.
Yes.
It's substantially higher than 4 to 5 years that he's going to be doing.
Wow.
So we think that he's going to run. So that's why we wouldn't let him out on bail. I don't think Diddy's going to get bail. The judge already don't want him out. So it says, the article says the judge will have wide latitude in determining a sentence and can choose to ignore the guidelines, which are not mandatory. Diddy's lawyers have said they believe that he...
And, you know, that's crazy. Like, I never knew that was possible. I mean, I've learned that during, like, the Diddy trial, but I didn't know that, like, even though they say guilty, not guilty, X amount of years and things like that, that the judge still can ultimately have the last say. I really thought it was always up to the jury, but I guess not. I guess they're there to be fair, but then, hey, I guess the judge can do what he wants. I hope I'm never in this situation.
He should get 21 to 27 months in prison. So, on the day of the verdict, the prosecutors won a bail fight after Diddy's lawyers argued that he should be freed immediately on bail. The judge denied the defense's request, saying that Combs hadn't met the burden of showing by clear and convincing evidence to be a lack of danger to any person or the community. So Diddy, you ain't proved that you a safe dude out here, basically.
At all.
Also, there was something else that I read too in this. There was something else that I read. Here it is. Said the defendant's extensive history of violence and his continued attempt to minimize his recent violent conduct demonstrates his dangerousness and that he is not amendable to supervision. The defendant utterly fails to establish by clear and convincing evidence as required that he does not pose a danger to the community. So that's why Diddy's still in jail. He feeling that pressure. He like, man, I need a pardon. What can I do? How can I get out of here? I'm going crazy. I need help. Somebody, either y'all get me a new trial, which is what he's requesting now. Either y'all get me a new trial or get me an acquittal based on these charges. And if you Diddy's lawyers, you got to fight for him. I mean, that's what he paid you to do. So I'm not even mad at his lawyers. I will want my lawyers to fight for me too. Now, before 50 Cent went and sat with Trump, it was reported that the pardon for Diddy was reportedly hinging on the bail hearing, right? This is before 50 Cent went and talked to Trump. And it said that Trump was given serious, quote, serious consideration to a presidential pardon for Diddy ahead of his sentencing. It said according to the report, the potential pardon hinged greatly on the outcome of the rapper's upcoming bail hearing. The music mogul asked the judge to release him on $50 million bond.
So what? Trump was genuinely considering pardoning him, but now has decided that he will not? Is that what he said?
After several of his previous attempts to secure bail were denied. Said Donald Trump previously hinted at the possibility of a pardon, noting that he will have to consider the facts.
Right.
Said Trump is reportedly considering, or was reportedly considering handing Diddy a presidential pardon following the battle in court. And it says, according to TMZ, Trump was more than open to pardoning Diddy, depending on the decision that the judge made on the rapper's latest bail petition. The news outlet reported that if Diddy was granted bail, Trump would hold off on his decision until his sentencing. If the judge denies him bail, a decision would have been made immediately. So basically, if Diddy wasn't able to get out on $50 million bail, Trump would have probably pardoned him right away before 50 Cent talked to Trump. And I'm going to show you guys what Diddy said
what 50 Cent
and what 50 Cent brought to Trump
to
make him go, oh, yeah, nah, we cool. I'm cool. Leave him in jail. We got a poll in the chat as well. Do you guys think 50 Cent is wrong for this? Do you think 50 is wrong for doing everything he can to keep Diddy in jail? Now, vote.
Nah, sounds like 50 Cent doing the work that the jurors couldn't do to try to keep him in there, I guess. He said, nah, let me tell you the facts, bro. Do you really know what's going on?
Now, 83% so far say no. 17% say, yeah, did 50 wrong for that. It says, according to the news outlet, the insider explained that Trump resonates with Diddy case because, like him, he feels the rapper was unfairly targeted by the feds, especially as the lead prosecutor in the case, Maureen Comey, was recently fired. The source also added that the timing of the presidential pardon would be perfect as it helps turn away the attention from the Epstein scandal, which is an interesting thing to factor in. It said the possibility of a presidential pardon for Diddy has been a recurrent topic since Trump first floated the idea in the Oval Office. When Trump said, I will certainly look at the facts if I think somebody was being mistreated, whether they like me or not, it wouldn't have any impact on me. Right? Now, I think it was two things. I think Trump is trying to make Diddy beg. I think that was a part of it.
Not big.
And
no way.
It's because, bro, you went against me and you went with Kamala and you went with Biden. And now I'm trying to make you beg. I want you to humble yourself. You know, billionaires are very egotistical and prideful. Most rich people are. But billionaires especially. Ain't nobody really checking them. So, you know, Trump probably is like, man, I'm going to make you beg and then I'm going to say no.
That's jacked up.
And it's crazy because you got to be careful of the people that you step on because you never know who you're going to need later. You know, and now it's Diddy in a position where it seems like he needs Trump because he's about to do that time. So that brings us to today, which is the latest updates on this situation. Now, it's been reported that 50 Cent was gloating, and we know 50 is going to gloat. And the relationship between 50 and Diddy, is everybody kind of aware that we all believe that it was 50 Cent's baby mom, not his oldest son, but his youngest son.
I think so.
Mother. That was the one on stand testifying against Diddy. We know that she used to date
Because I heard
Diddy.
she was going right on the boat to the trips with him and stuff.
Let me see if we can find that. We know she used to date Diddy, and the puzzle pieces were put together that she was the one testifying when the trial was going on. And it was no secret that, you know, people felt like it's her. You know, especially because some of the stuff that she said during the trial was like, oh, he threatened to tell my baby's father. He threatened to send him pictures. Like Diddy did that to her. He sent me from California to what'd she say? Let me see if I can pull this up. She said Diddy would fly me from California to Miami to do things, to transport drugs. And this is 50 Cent and Diddy's baby moms. Or Diddy and 50 Cent's baby moms, I should say.
So we already got photos showing them.
This is them in Miami at Diddy's house in Miami or whatever. So people put the 2 and 2 together and said, this is why 50 hates Diddy so much. Because of that. Regardless of the reasoning behind it, 50 Cent is getting the last laugh, it seemed like.
Like that photo.
And here's something as a side note. 50 is rarely wrong about dudes. When he says something, every time 50 says something about somebody, I'll automatically assume he got some behind the scenes information that we don't know, that he just ain't ready to share yet.
Because he be knowing everything. And he really don't be wrong.
He was the first one I heard saying Puff is a fruit pop and all that. You got to give it, like, he was ahead of the curve for real. And people was like, oh, 50 just hating. You know.
Look where we are now.
Y'all remember when 50 said, yeah, he tried to take me shopping.
Yeah.
Anyways, it says the article reports that 50 Cent gloats as Trump nixes his pardon for half innocent Diddy for now. Donald Trump believes Sean Diddy Combs is only, quote, half innocent out of his trafficking trial, but there will be no presidential pardon right now for the much accused Grammy winner, according to the report. It says just 2 days after the exclusive report that Trump was, quote, seriously considering such a pardon, and the White House played his cards close to the chest, now no pardon stance. Trump's no pardon stance makes Diddy's foe, 50 Cent, very happy. 50 said this as a quote. He said, can you believe he thought he was getting pardoned?
Wow.
50, I'm telling you, if God can't get through to you, 50 Cent will, I promise you. Hit that like button if you're watching and if you ain't hit it yet. Said, can you believe he thought he was getting pardoned? 50 posted this on social media with this AI generated photo that you guys see right here.
I didn't know that was AI generated. I thought it was real.
The article says,
fool me for sure.
50 said, can you believe he thought he was getting pardoned? No, sir, you are not. You said very nasty things. That's when the very nasty things is 50 repeating what Trump said to him. Like, oh, these are very nasty things that he said. And I'm about to show you guys some of them things that were said. This is the picture. 50 posted this.
Yeah,
50 is funny for this, man. I'm sorry. I know it's a man's freedom on the line, but this is funny. Because it's 50. Say, yeah, Trump being Trump, all this can change on a dime. Sticking it to the federal prosecutor sweeping case. The 8 men and 4 women on the jury found Combs guilty of lesser charges in the transportation and engaged in prostitution. This is why I said to you guys too, when the trial was going on, we was reporting on it. I said any conviction is not good in this system, bro. You get convicted, it don't matter. Like, he beat the serious charges. Nobody cares. The federal court looks at him like you're a convicted this. You know, like you're a convicted criminal now, bro. It don't matter. And until you out of jail and off of them papers, you not out of jail and off of them papers. You ain't free until you off them papers and out of jail. And so people celebrate it prematurely. Says the reality is, the article says, the reality is the not guilty decision on the harsh trafficking and conspiracy charges was a serious blow for the lead prosecutor who's now fired Marine Comey and her team. Part of Trump's public and behind closed door dalliance with the Combs pardon is to stick the knife in the family of the ex-FBI director James Comey, who's the father of Marine Comey. This is what we was talking about earlier. So Trump would only do this. And I told you, and I said this before, Trump don't care about Diddy. He care about bothering that Comey family, the ex-FBI director and his daughter. James and
I
Maureen
heard
Comey. Trump only care about himself.
And the dad
He
has
don't
to
care
beef
about
for
Diddy
something.
getting out. He care about his own ego. You know, if I could bother the people that bothered me.
So, like, was the Maureen girl fired just from the Diddy case, or was she like fired for being an attorney in general? Does anybody know?
Then that's all that matters. If I got to use Diddy as a pawn to do that, I'm cool with it. Said the president, Donald Trump, also wants to punish what he views as an overreaching and too independent SDNY. The article says, in previous months, 50 Cent promised he would try to talk Trump out of any Combs pardon. And he posted this clip from The Apprentice. And then so it said a miss-clemency campaign from Combs loyalists to the White House and to those close to the transactional president of the United States and Trump being Trump, the pardon tonight was qualified. So right after a discussion about a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's newly cooperative confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell, Trump was asked this quote. He said, Sean Diddy Combs. Somebody asked him, the reporter asked him, Sean Diddy Combs, would you consider pardoning him? To which a typically self-centered Trump replied, well, quote, well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent, probably. He said, I was very friendly with him, but when I ran for office, he was very hostile, and it's hard. So I don't know. It's more difficult. I think this is just a carrot on the stick from Trump. Diddy, get on your knees, no Diddy, and beg. Beg. Make me feel like I should give you this pardon. Come out publicly and say you support me. Come out publicly and say you love me. Do something for me. Trump petty too. Don't get it twisted. He a Gemini. You know, like, don't get it twisted. Trump petty. Super petty. Him and 50 together, that's the last two people you want talking and negotiating your freedom if you are an enemy of either one of them. So this was the worst case for Diddy. Anyways, let's see. I want to see what this video is that 50 posted. Let's see what it's about.
Sean Diddy Combs.
Right.
Would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but it seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory.
He said he was celebrating a victory, but I guess it wasn't as good a victory as like he being petty, yo.
Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great. And seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment.
This is funny to Trump. Like, look at he containing his laughter, which is crazy. Somebody in the comments said the boogeyman checks under his bed to make sure 50 Cent ain't there.
Right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know. It's more difficult. It makes it more. I'm being honest. It
Yeah.
makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs.
I
It
would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay. And what about George Santos?
Wow.
Said more likely a no for Diddy, for Combs. Yeah, I would say so. Trump think it's funny. If you watch the beginning of that clip, he was just laughing. Like he was low key, he was smiling and laughing. Like, bro, I thought he was innocent. What happened? Not innocent enough, huh? Now, let me see. Let's see if we can pull up some of the things that Diddy said, because I'm assuming that these are the things that 50 Cent took to Diddy, or took to Trump, excuse me, and said, "Hey, Mr. President, this is what he said about you, dog. You remember this? You forgot about this. You probably missed this. You a busy man. Let me show you." That's 50. You a busy man. Let me show you what's going on. Hold on. I got it all right here. I didn't have somebody in my team, in G Unit archives, go and pull all this up, and let me show you, Mr. President. Hold on. So,
G Unit Archives.
you guys can see that they did have it looked like him and Diddy knew each other for a long time. This is young Diddy. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
That's young Diddy. He looked like his
That's
son right here.
there.
So let's see, where is it? Trump said we just heard that. Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent, but he was celebrating a victory, but I guess it wasn't a good victory. Let's see, where is it? Dang, look at all these pictures of Trump and Diddy together. They did. It's crazy, man. What's that? There's a Shannon Sharp used to say this. He had a quote where he said, "Be careful of the leg, or be careful of the toes you step on, because they might be connected to the leg that leads to the butt that you got to kiss tomorrow. Be careful of the toes you step on today." That's an old school Southern quote. It's very true. Careful of the toes that you step on today might be connected to the leg that leads to the butt that you got to kiss tomorrow. So here's the past comments. I'm gonna read these past comments that Diddy said about Trump to you guys. Says, among Combs' past comments about Trump, he previously said in an interview with Charlamagne Tha God ahead of the 2020 presidential election, following Trump's first term, that Diddy said Trump did, quote, a great job of rattling America. Seeing what's going on, white men like Trump need to be banished. That way of thinking is real dangerous. He said, this man literally threatened the lives of us and our families about going to vote. Diddy said, stand back and stand by, adding that the number one priority is to get Trump out of office. These are the things that, this is part of what Diddy said about Trump that got Trump like, oh, hold on. I need to be banished, bro? I'm dangerous? Okay, bro, you need to be banished, nigga. Trump. God. Trump sitting so. Oh man, it's bro. Trump sitting somewhere in his in an office or on a plane or in a car somewhere. Like, oh, I need to be banished. I think I'm about to banish you, nigga. You about to be banished to 20 years, bro. About to send you upstate. Anyways, Trump, so that's when, obviously Trump was asked if his answer was more likely a no. We heard that, and he said, I would say so. So that's the latest updates on this, man. That's the latest updates on this. Let me see what you guys saying in the chat. Also, we continue on our private live stream. We about to, if you're in the ULegend Inner Circle, if you're in the Inner Circle on the website, ulgnd.com, make sure you go over there and check it out. We're going to be continuing our private live events, and we got
So what do y'all think about that? So pardon is 100% off the table for Diddy. So I don't know. I guess we got to see what's happening next. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead, take a little nap because I'm going to go to dinner later with my loved one. So you know how it is. You know what's the deal. Stay nosy and check back in with me next time. I really appreciate it. Praise Yah, and I hope all of you have a blessed day. Once again, thank you for spending some time with me today.